Hello, everyone. We are live today, December the 5th, 2023. Hi, Nancy. Glad to see you join us today. It is December in Southern Ontario, and we're having the typical December weather. One day it's bright and sunny. The next day it's overcast and rainy. One thing we haven't had is any snow. Well, we had one day of snow, but it went very, very quickly, and I was so happy. Montreal got a good 30 centimeters, I heard somebody say. Hi, Beverly. How are you today? Hi, Karen. Oh, how did you do it, Karen? How did you do it? I'm doing good. How are you? Kathleen, I'm so happy to see you join us this afternoon. Are you feeling any better? I think I'm going through right now what you went through a little while ago. Oh, that's good, Letta. Where are you from, Letta? A few inches of snow isn't bad. It's nice around Christmas time to kind of have some snow, but if you're here, drop me a line. And if you like the content on this page, please like and subscribe or at least share. Hi, Cindy. The sun is shining and bragging, but it's beautiful. Not bragging, but it's beautiful. Yes, I bet it is. Hi, Janice. Oh, Letta, I didn't realize that you were Canadian. So you're down where my niece is. Norma's a little close to you as well. Hi, Janet. How are you today? So today I wanted to talk about nutrition and COPD. It is a subject that is not often spoken about. I don't think my doctor has ever talked to me about nutrition. And yet it remains a huge issue for me because, hi, Linda, nice to join us today. Nice to have you join us today. It is a huge issue for me because diet and nutrition are what helps you to hold up those compromised lungs. We know that as our lungs are failing, we have a hard time, with the muscle. And we know that a lot of it is exercise, but a lot of it is also nutrition. Did you know that it is very easy to become malnourished when you have COPD? So when I went to a nutritionist about a year before I was diagnosed, and she asked me, what do you eat? How does it go? So I told her, it was a typical day's diet. I'd wake up and have a pot of coffee, go to work. At lunch, I'd go for lunch, and we always had lunch because, we always ate out every day. And, then I had, dinner, whatever was put on the table for us, because I usually didn't get home till about 7:00. And she said, I think you're malnourished. I thought, how can you say that when I'm like overweight and we live in Canada? Like, you can't be malnourished here. But guess what? You can be malnourished. And that is just simply not putting the nutrients and vitamins into your body that it requires for sustainability. We can't always manage to make meals that are nutritious, and we can't always afford them. We all know that food prices have gone up exponentially. including meat. And we can't always afford stuff that is nutritious. And I remember that, um, I never had good eating habits. I was never taught good eating habits, and I never learned it along the way. Um, when I was growing up, there was a lot of sweets in the house, and I did that with my kids, and both of them became overweight. They have since, well, I've got three. Two of them became overweight, and they have since found their way, became physically fit, and lost weight. And I'm so proud of them for doing that, because they certainly weren't taught it. So we don't always have the knowledge to know what to eat and when to eat it. If somebody doesn't tell us, how do we know that? It's common to have nutritional depletion and a negative impact on the respiratory muscle function. So without eating protein, you can't build muscle. That's just the way that it is. And I was told that the first time that I was in the hospital. The nurse came to me and said, the nutritionist came to me and said, you have to have breakfast. You're sending everything back, and that's not a good thing. And I said, well, I only have coffee for breakfast. So if you could send me a couple more coffees, that'd be great. And she said, if you want to develop muscle, you have to have protein in the morning. And that kind of hit me. I heard that, right? So when we're in rest rehab, we learn a little bit about nutrition. For me, sometimes I just can't get food down. And other times it has to do with the comorbidities of COPD. For instance, if you have heart failure, it's almost impossible to get any food down. And it becomes standard to skip meals. It becomes possible to just skip meals. But this isn't really good. When you have heart failure, everything internally is a little swollen. So, liver, kidneys, your stomach, everything's just a little swollen. And to think of putting food on top of it is really tough, So we have to look for alternatives to that and still getting our nutrition. I'm going to say ask your doctor for a referral to a nutritionist. And I know, like in Canada, we have these HMOs who have all these contacts in their office. They have mental health, they have nutrition, they have physical, they have all kinds of people who kind of work in the same office, and it's really easy to get an appointment. But I know that if you don't have the insurance to cover it, it's probably going to be a bit of a hard thing to do. And yes, I agree with you, Karen. It does take a lot of energy to eat when you have breathing issues, especially if you're eating something that is solid. So my son's home with us right now, and he came home from the store the other day and he brought a bunch of steaks. And I thought, oh my God, I have wanted a steak for so long. My husband won't cook steaks because he can't eat them. So I haven't had steaks in a while. So my son came in, he cooked me a big steak, and oh, it was so delicious. But, sorry, chewing it and getting it down was so much work. And then once I ate it, I suffered from bloat. My stomach was just so bloated up, and I had such an overwhelming feeling of not being able to breathe. My diaphragm wouldn't move, and I was like, oh my God, I will never do that again. It was just so uncomfortable. I couldn't believe it. I've eaten steaks and beef all my life, but I don't seem to be able to tolerate beef anymore. So I know not everybody can afford a nutritionist. So if you go to a nutritionist, what they'll do is bring out the food guide. So I'm talking here today about the Canada Food Guide because it's what I've got. The nutritional guide changes for men and women over 51 years of age. Typically, we don't tend to be as active, and our metabolism begins to slow. So we don't need as much to keep going. Approximate vegetables and fruits, we need on average 7 servings of fruit and vegetables, each serving being about a cup. It can be frozen, fresh, or canned. Leafy green vegetables are the best, and juice is the least desirable. So 1 serving is about half a cup. The reason why is it doesn't have the roughage in it, right? The juice doesn't have the roughage in it. Have 1 green and 1 orange serving per day. That'll keep you up with your fruits and vegetables. Approximate serving of grains and grain products. So this is where I have a really hard time. I don't know, can anybody eat bread? I can't eat bread. I tried flatbreads, and I've tried, some other, but I'm much better if I don't eat bread. So when I have tuna for lunch, I'll have tuna with crackers. So the approximate serving of grains and grain products. These include bread, bagels. Bagels are pretty heavy. Flatbreads, cooked rice, cereal, and pasta. At least half of your grain products should be whole grains, and choose grains that are lower in fat and sugar. Fat, salt, and sugar. Sorry, and your grains, you are to have 6 grains per day, 6 servings of grains per day. And they are 1 slice of bread, a half of a bagel, 1 pita or a half of a tortilla, cooked rice, which is cereal, which is a quarter of a cup, and cooked pasta, which is a half a cup. So that's your grains. Approximate servings of milk and alternatives, we need servings a day. So this includes milk, which we have to be careful of when we have COPD because milk's not really good for us, right? But hey, if you like it and you want to drink it, have at it. Canned evaporated milk, soy beverages, yogurt, and cheese. This is probably one of the most important servings of the day because we need calcium in order to build muscle. finally, protein. Finally, we have meat and meat alternatives. Including in the list is cooked fish. Does anybody like cooked fish? I like cooked fish if it's cooked properly. I love salmon. Love salmon. I have tuna probably once or twice a week. Shellfish, not fussy. Poultry and lean meat. So here's where, you have to be careful about what you can get down. I cannot do beef, and that's all there is to it. Oh, Marilyn, do you? Well, that's good for you. I hope that you eat lots of it. So about half a cup, or they say that the size of your palm, like this. One of the things that I found out when I was in the hospital, in my house, we have a problem with portion control. Portions are far too big, and they are sized wrong. So meat would be the main thing on your plate, and we would have lots of meat. Always potatoes and 2 vegetables, but the portions were wrong. So the vegetables should have been twice as much as we were having, and the meat should have been half. I don't know if anybody has realized that, but when I was in the hospital, my daughter and I were talking about it. Oh, at Beverly in the state, when we go to the States, it's like, you can order 1 serving and feed 4 people. Like, I can't believe your portions in the States. It's unbelievable. Cooked legumes and beans and at a half a cup or a quarter of a cup. Does anybody eat legumes or beans? Like, I don't know. Some people do, I guess, right? We're supposed to, Marilyn. As we age, we are supposed to eat less. Yeah, Cindy, do you want to supersize that? I know. Tofu. Does anybody eat tofu? Never tasted it before. I'm not even interested in it. A quarter of a cup of tofu in place of 1, meat or alternative. Eggs, 2 hard boiled, soft boiled, fried, however you can get them down. I usually have 2 eggs a day. I can have them either fried or if I like to boil them and have them for a couple of days and give Georgia a rest from having to. So, Cindy, how do you cook these black beans, and what do you do with these black beans? Yeah, I agree with you, Marilyn. Beans and soup are very, very good, and chili. I've never eaten tofu. I don't like the jelly. But I remember a couple of years ago, everybody was eating tofu instead of turkeys, right? I like beans and soup too, Cindy. So 2 eggs, very good protein. Peanut butter, 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, and it can be your main staple of the day. It's really an easy meal to have on bread or crackers. And finally, we have shelled nuts and seeds. So you can have a quarter of a cup of those in place of protein. Here's the problem. Do we stick with those limitations of like a quarter of a cup? Because I don't know, I don't think that we do even now, even though I know that portions are important. When I was young, we were taught to eat the portions wrong. I just said that. The biggest thing on our plate was meat and potatoes and vegetables. Were kind of an afterthought. Sliced apples, microwave, peanut butter, yes. Pour over the apples and bravo nachos. Sounds like a good idea. Put your peanut butter in the microwave, slice some apples, and you can just dip, right? Pork and beans. Are you saying, Kathleen, are you saying pork and beans or pork along with beans? I don't know. My husband loves pork and beans. It drives me nuts. So one of the most important things that we have to learn about nutrition is portion control and not to overeat. Now, when we have COPD, we know that GERD or bloat are our enemy. And so overeating becomes a huge problem. With the holidays coming, I have a big problem with food because the holidays are all about food, but I won't be able to eat a thing. And when I have hustle and bustle around me with lots of people coming and going, the last thing that I want is to eat anything. In fact, I cannot get anything down. And sometimes even when George cooks supper and, he says, do you want a plate? And I say, no, I just can't right now, but maybe later, right? Oh, I hear you, Kathleen. You and my husband are a pair. So sometimes I just have to say, no, not now. Just give me a little while and I'll see how it goes. When I look at the table that is set for the holidays, I try to pick something that is easy to digest and take small portions. Eliminating sugars and sweets from our diet really helps to maintain better breathing. I know the sweets are hard to resist, but a diet high in carbohydrates tends to have little value as far as nutrition is concerned. It causes bloat in some cases. For me, it causes bloat. And although we crave carbohydrates and sugars, we certainly do not need them. Once we refrain from giving into our sweet tooth, it becomes less of an issue in the long run. So finding ways to replace carbs would be nuts, peanuts, crackers, tuna, and a piece of fish. So what do you have as a snack for dinners? Any secrets? Any secrets on what you eat? So I don't eat beef. Oh, Janet, what drinks are you talking about? Like nutritional drinks with all the nutrition in them? I don't know what they're called. Ensure drinks. Oh, popcorn's a good snack, pretty much, if it doesn't get into your teeth too much. I have tea instead of coffee. Yes, Ensure drinks. Yeah. Never tried them. Yeah, but I might be onto something like that. You never know. Food just takes up so much room in my cavity. I can't get it down sometimes. Oh, that's a good yogurt and cottage cheese. Good for you guys. Okay. There is no older you. There is only the present you. Refocus your intention on the present. Sit with your back straight. Lower your shoulders, even if it hurts to do so. Take deep breaths in and out. Place your hand on your belly as you begin pursed lip breathing. Without moving your shoulders, breathe in through your nose. Take that breath deep into your belly. Feel your belly move. Notice your shoulders. Keep them relaxed and low. If your shoulders are moving, stop and restart again. Practicing now will help you to make it a habit. Inhale through your nose. Take a deep breath into your belly. Hold it for a few seconds and exhale through pursed lips. And do it gently as if you're blowing out the candles. We don't want to hurt ourselves. When you get into trouble and you cannot catch your breath, invite this to become your go-to. Inhale through your nose and take a deep breath into your belly. Hold for a few seconds and exhale through pursed lips. Begin a normal routine of using pursed lips. Inhale through your nose. Take a deep breath into your belly. Hold for a few seconds and exhale through pursed lips. Remember to keep your thoughts positive. What you say has power. Inhale through your nose. Take the breath deep into your belly. Hold it for a few seconds and exhale through pursed lips. Smell the roses. Blow out the candle. Stay in the moment and concentrate on your breath. Inhale through your nose and take a deep breath into your belly. Hold for 2 seconds and exhale through pursed lips. We are slowing our breathing pattern so that we can breathe more efficiently. Inhale through your nose and take a deep breath into your belly. Hold for 3 seconds and exhale through pursed lips. Each breath has more meaning than the last. Inhale through your nose and take a deep breath into your belly. Hold for 4 seconds and exhale through pursed lips. Notice how relaxed and calm you are. Inhale through your nose, take a deep breath into your belly. Hold for a few seconds and exhale through pursed lips. Remember for today, find gratitude and you will have a much better day. Thank you everybody for joining me today. I appreciate every single person who comes here to join us. Thank you.